Mr. Shripati is the Aerospace Technical Division head and for Indo-Pacific for MSC Software, and he started working with the engineering side of FEA, the CAE, since ISC, and he has been working with most of the global OEMs for the aerospace applications. How are you seeing, Shripati, that the customers' engagement with the software companies and going to and fro with the customers and with you? How are you seeing the trend coming along, and how are you seeing people are utilizing it more and more?
Trend is actually going, I would say that the curve itself is pretty much growing well. We have more and more customers realizing that virtual tryouts are much easier to do than realistic tryouts. Print and fail, and then maybe like the trial goes on in physical world is
Exactly. Yes.
fair. I think we have discussed this while we were discussing with you on what really can be done with Singapore. And further to that, I think the growing knowledge sharing what we are actually having, like what we are doing, more and more customers. It could be even SMBs or OEMs like Honeywell or GE are involved in a day-to-day discussions, and a lot of things are both R&D as well as directly connected to ROI benefit is what is happening.
So can you define what kind of customer profiles you're working as? Can you help me understand 95 percentile of your customer? How are they approaching the problem statement currently with MSC on generative and topology optimization?
Yeah, there are mainly three kinds of customers who are there. One is OEMs who are the internal customers, means somebody of the same division or other division produce a part for their own consumptions. They don't really do any services for the external customers. So they are self-consumption ones, maybe of the sort of Honeywell or even to an extent GE, global organizations. In the meantime, there are like R&D plus the external suppliers. It could be Objectify kind, it could be you or maybe Wipro 3D or a lot of other players who are there, where the design also is modified for an OEM or suggested for an OEM from a start point what really the customer gives. So this is a category where we have most of the customers right now in and around Indo-Pacific region, include Singapore or Australia, or we take Indonesia. The growing markets practically is within India, Singapore, and Indonesia right now. And we have the third kind where we have entrants, or we call it as those who are design bureaus, but they don't print or they don't get into the details of printing, or they don't even printing services, but they would like to do design services alone. So those would be even engineering services or a little more engineering services. We call it as consultancy agencies. They are also the ones who are associated. So these are the three categories where we are seeing that there is a growing activities going on.
So how do you approach a problem statement from let's say, aerospace customer asking you for some support on, let's say, topology optimization? So what kind of good questions you start with, and how do you funnel the right answer for the customer? How are you implementing them?
So what we will go with a strategy of knowing the components behavior in a particular assembly. For example, if it is a component like bracket, is it actually in a load carrying area, or what kind of loads do really come to that? So first is earlier it was printability alone, now it is optimization plus printability. So we will have that particular study done as a generative design approach where we optimize it. And we have an entire process which is being studied where we actually saw that the stresses are within limit. So we use the gold standard approach of MSc Nastran validation, which is directly available to validate the entire component for certain loads, which I think can be even a document which can be used for certification. Of course, certification is not a great easy task, in the case of printed parts. But I think at least right now, with all the kind of documents which are being produced and being actually okay by maybe GCA slash wherever the component is manufactured and whatever reason is being used for, is there as a practice. So what we start with is a basic loads and stress limits, and then into the optimization study. Then we have printability study, which is through Simofact, which is already seen. And then we have a validation statement from Nastran, kind of a MSc Nastran kind of a analysis, which is again accepted to be the industry standard. So this whole process is something which is going to be there in the every component analysis and final made to report, from made to print to report kind of activity. So this is the process.
So, what kind of a challenge for a software maker is there for different processes like casting, forging, additive, materials front? How do you see a response onto something like that?
Yeah, I mean, most of the things what we are kind of going through right now is if you look at casting, I will come to the point where the casted parts have a lot of effects. Both are external and internal. So where we have certain technologies which are from Hexagons and which are in with MSc software bracket. Like for example, for external defects, we have a lot of scanners which are available like blue light scanners, which can actually detect the what I call it as external defects. And we can also reverse it, saying that you can actually model it as a defect and study what could be the deficiency of that component's performance in the assembly. Similarly, internal defects like component, if you have a CT scan data as a 3D data, we can actually take it into a product volume graphics. That is a new one what we have acquired about 3 months ago, where it can directly give you the 3D model of the defected component with the internal defects built, and you can take it to either Simofact directly and then analyze what would be the print what would be the what do you call it as effect of the defect. So it can go to mark, or it can go to depending on what kind of a analysis you would like to do. So we have this entire data. In fact, Digimat plays a major role in modeling this kind of thing. So this is one of the casting parts. The next one, I think additive already have explained. I think maybe the molded parts we can touch upon maybe one line. We can actually analyze the molded parts with simulating all the fiber orientations directly coming from something like Autodesk Moldflow or a Moldex 3D kind of a product in Digimat, and analyze it for the design flaws or efficiency of its performance.
So there is a very good question right now from Mr. Ajit, and it is directed to you. He's asking like doing multiple layer melting. How do you compute that, and is it computational heavy or intensive as per se?
Yeah, it is. Of course, there are 3 stages of analysis, or 3 stages of detailed analysis we can do. We call it as macro, meso, and micro. Macro does not account for any layer-wise distortion data, or we call it as the thermal effects, which are going to bring the defects onto the printing. Meso is practically layer-wise. This is where actually your question is. Each layer is printed, and then you have the thermal effects coming onto the next layer. And how does it distort the upcoming layers? Yes, it is little computationally intensive, but since we have parallel processing option, we don't actually see that it should affect too much of a problem at the analysis level. To have pretty much multi-core machines to really run this. Micro goes to the level of the particles. So in fact, that is something which will take a huge amount of time to solve. So it depends on what is your real pain. Is it that there's a distortion, and then you see that like a lot of temperature effects do involve it. For example, if you have the machine like EOS 400, whatever is it, you want to consider that there is a convection effect which is coming during the print, and then you want to really include that. And also the printability due to each of the layers having their own conduction heating. So that is something which can be captured. So it is computationally intensive, but not that it is going to really choke the whole number of cores for you.